what's up? Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good?
I want to be thoughtful in speaking about this because Deion Sanders he's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
We had the honor of connecting with him, interviewed him. He's very gracious with his time. Good dude. And I respect the move because nobody's tied to anything forever. But I also am sympathetic for the plight of HBCUs. I can understand the disappointment because it was sold on a culture. That's how it was kind of packaged. Like, like this is for the culture, this is the culture, swag, this is the culture. If it's just a job, then it's just a job. But when it's sold as something more than a job, like when you're working in Colorado, it's just a job. But when you're working at HBCU and you're selling it as an HBCU, and this is going to be an opportunity for young athletes to come and, be with their own people. And, and that's kind of how it's packaged, whether he did it or whether it was done, like that's kind of how it was packaged. Mm-hmm. So it becomes more than just a job. It's kind of like, a mission. And it's not to say that he even signed up for it, but that's kind of what it ended up being, where he kind of had the flag for HBCUs. He's the most notable coach in sports right now. And he's holding a flag for every HBCU. So it's definitely demoralizing when you finally get recognition. You finally start winning. You finally get, athletes and entertainers and everybody's coming and everybody's championing it, and Earn Your Leisure's doing interviews and Gillian Wallow's coming every other week and 60 Minutes and, Good Morning America, and you're getting all this national attention, and it's like, okay, we finally made it, and then it's over. So, like I said, I don't blame Deion because, he is who he is, and he's going to be, one of the best coaches in the country, and I respect that. But like I said, I could also understand the disappointment in the HBCU community. But I will say this, Earn Your Leisure will be at Howard University on Saturday for the culture.
That was a hell of a segue.
Free event.
That was a hell of a segue.
Link in the bio, RSVP.
Go Bison.
We love you.
And I know Howard's athletic director would never do this, but does Jackson State's athletic director deserve any of the blame for not putting up the capital to keep him there? Secondly,
the state of Mississippi deserves some of the blame for not figuring out how to compensate that school for the amount of revenue that they brought in. You got to figure, we were there, and he said it. You're talking about a state capital that still has dirt roads. It doesn't have all the facilities that they should have. It's tough to compete. The fact that they not only competed but dominated and were undefeated is amazing. My only issue, and I don't know all the details of it, but it felt like he took the first offer and left. Right? Like, I'm sure there's other schools who could have or were looking to have a coach, but I felt like it was a rumor, and then it was like next day it was true, and I'm like, damn, that was quick. Right? Like, damn. I kind of brought it up to him. I was like, yeah, I feel like FSU would have been, obviously that's his alma mater, would have been one of those places where it was like, all right, Deion, it's Florida. That's where the birth of primetime started.
It's going to take a long time to get that.
Right. It's going to take a long time to get there. But I felt like first opportunity to go you out.
Yeah.
The other side of it, 100x.
Yes, first opportunity.
I ain't mad. That was my only issue. I was like, when I heard him, like, true, like, damn, Colorado. I bet.
Yes, Colorado it is, ladies and gentlemen. Been real. Didn't even stay for the bowl game. I'm going.
Black and gold.
Done. Been real.
Listen, Wyoming State can offer me 500, and I'm going tomorrow.
Been real.
Number two, please write this down because this is a business show, and I know some of you be like, yo, y'all talk about entertainment. There's lessons in entertainment. In entertainment business and in football, you get to see a business cycle happen in 3 months opposed to stretched out over 3 years. Write this down. Colorado made him an offer that he could not leave their facility from. So in negotiating your deals, and if you want a talent and they've calculated, and I'm sure they're saying If we get him here and he did that at JSU with the booster base that they have in Colorado, all the money that's flowed to Colorado from California for the weed business when I was there in 2014, Denver now looks like baby California. In the hood in Denver, some of them houses are going for $600,000. I'm sure they've already calculated the return. So if he's getting 30, I'm sure they're looking to make $690 off him minimum.
Well,
Dion is a star.
Yeah. Sellout. Back to sellouts in Colorado.
And my last point, if we really care about JSU, somebody make a GoFundMe. $250 a month. Let's get 10,000 people to invest $250 a month into JSU. That's $2.5 million a month. I guarantee that GoFundMe will not be at capacity.
Yeah. Shout out to, and I want to get to the stock review, but I'll just say one last thing because I'm a sports fan, and Deion Sanders, he started a whole wave where Howard actually got one of the top recruits in basketball during the pandemic. Even Mikey, he didn't go there. He went to Memphis, but he even had Howard as he had one of these HBCUs on his list. It became like a trendy thing. And I don't think HBCUs had that much buzz behind them since the 90s when our guy, Chris Latt, was making the clothes, the HBCU clothes, and everybody was wearing the hoodies and all of that stuff. And shout out to Support Black Colleges. They're doing that now. But, it was a real popular thing in the 90s to support Black colleges. So whatever, if you are criticizing Deion Sanders, instead of criticizing him, why don't you find a way
Let's figure it out
to support a Black college?
$250
That's
a
more
month.
beneficial. Action is more beneficial than criticism. So it's like Deion did a lot for the HBCU movement and for Jackson State. A lot of people are criticizing what he's done, and they have never done anything for any HBCU. Like they've never done anything. They haven't given any money. They haven't donated their time.
Bought a headband.
A lot of people have never even been to a HBCU other than a homecoming party. So it's like you're criticizing somebody when you yourself have never done one thing. So take that into consideration, and the world will definitely be a better place if every single person that is criticizing actually takes some level of action.
They're playing the Cosby Show?
That's beneficial.
You mean
And of course,
world?
we're not talking to the amazing listeners of Market Mondays, just the hyperbole that's out there on the social.
But sometimes it's not even. This is part of the culture too. And I was talking to 19 Keys about this. It's okay to have honest conversations. Doesn't mean that we're not friends. I am actually talking to the listeners of Market Mondays because I don't know. We have 5,000 people on the line.
And
some
assets
people,
of reliabilities and the Tuesday show too.
But
they're gonna hear me. Why y'all changing?
But listen. No, it's important. It's not scolding. It's not scolding. It's out of love. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like it might not apply to everybody. If it doesn't apply to you, then disregard the message. But I guarantee you, at least one person is going to apply to. And it's not done to humiliate anybody. It's not calling anybody out by name. But it's important to have honest conversations and it's like, hold me accountable. I might say something I might be in error. Hold me accountable. Like if I'm in error, like Troy will say something like, I didn't appreciate that, or this is you to okay. That's what you're supposed to do. Like that's how we move forward. We have to be men enough and women enough to take criticism and not take it personal. That's the problem with our community. Like we take criticism personal, but it's not. It's done out of correction, and correction is necessary because we all need correction. I need correction. Everybody needs correction at a certain point in time. Nobody's perfect, so it's like just take the correction and see how you can become a better person. That's it.
Yeah.
It's lead with love, man.
Yes.
This that Red Panda Anthem.
Ian, what's up?
This that Red Panda Anthem.
Red Panda, what's good?
Red Panda Anthem.
It's your
Whole
boy.
clip going up. I know they can't stand it.